Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Townsend Housing Authority meeting of Thursday, January 21st, 2021. We're meeting via Zoom and everyone is invited. I'd like a voice roll call, please, of the committee members.
Natalie Call. Oh, sorry, Courtney, go ahead.
Courtney Braley.
Natalie Call.
Jazz Sexton Duranian.
And Laura Schifrin. Thank you, everyone. The meeting this evening is being recorded. Is anyone else recording the meeting except for Hartley? Okay. Will you all join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gunner, get out.
Those words never meant more.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is Chairman's additions, deletions to the agenda unforeseen prior to 48 hours of this meeting. I have none. And I really don't have any reports except that I realized today that, so I'm going to make chairman remarks, if I may, that in 2021, I will have been a resident here since 1976, or 45 years.
Wow.
And my son, well, I think was 2.5, was when I was appointed to the Townsend Finance Committee by Ed West. And it changed my life. There has not been a year that I have not been active at Town Hall. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 different positions, which I currently hold. And I'm realizing that it's time to change things a bit. So I'm not running for the Housing Authority this year. My seat is up in 2021. And I'll always be there for you. But I'm looking forward to Courtney taking over as chairman. And with Jody now and Chaz, you know, you guys are in really good hands, really good hands. I feel confident that things will move forward in a very positive manner. So little by little, I'm going to be easing off many things and hopefully being able to do more relaxing than this. So I just want you to know I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. I could hug all of you if it was allowed. And I am just thrilled with the new board. And hopefully, and I'm still going to work at trying to get somebody for that tenant seat, no matter if I'm on the board or not. Okay, so those are my remarks, and I would like to hand the meeting over to our state rep, Chaz.
Thank you, Lori. I'm not going anywhere. So if anybody's wondering, I have a couple of issues. Number one, I did not attend a state meeting since our last meeting. There wasn't really anything. I have attended. I did have 2 meetings with state officials, actually attorneys for the state, in regards to a couple of issues that I needed some direction on, one of which was the Warren article that you all had asked me to look into. So I got finalized on that. The second one was in regards to COVID relief funds and how how I can point the Affordable Housing Trust in a direction if we do need to add more funds to what we have currently. And there is an expedited process that they have, and I'll touch base with the chairman, Joan, at the time when and if we need to do that, which I'm pretty sure that we'll probably end up having to do that. But it's going to be a pretty simplified process because we're already in the works and we already have everything in there. Last year, when I was going over putting together the annual reports that we're going to be voting on tonight, there was one major issue that was on there that I had brought up to the chairman, and she and I agreed that we didn't really have a chance to deal with it last year, but I do feel that we need to deal with it this year. And that issue was information coming into town hall that does not get to the housing authority. We had a discussion, if you guys remember, back in January of 2020, I think it was in our first meeting. Mm-hmm. My concern was that I had not received any subsidized housing inventories from the state. And I had to call 15, 20 different areas to find out if anything was sent in. I did get returned from the state the materials that were sent back, and we had never seen that report. Apparently it had gone into town hall and it had went interdepartments in town hall and then was sent back with information on it. My concern is that the information that was put on there, I don't know if it was valid or not. In reviewing the information that I received after I had saw it when I was putting together the annual report, I looked at it, and again, now this is from January of 2020. That information is not correct. And Lori and I have been kind of bouncing our head against the wall on why is our subsidized inventory always off? It doesn't seem like it's right. And I think the reason is that there are state documents that are coming in to town hall and they're not getting to us. And whether somebody is filling them out or they're not being filled out, I think was a major issue. So I brought it to Lori's attention to figure out what, as a board, you guys want to be able to do with moving forward with that. We have an administrator now. Anything that comes into town hall that has anything to do with housing, even if it doesn't necessarily say Townsend Housing Authority, anything that has to do with housing really should be copied and sent to Jody, and Jody should then be able to disseminate that information to the individuals that need to. That is my thought. So that's food for thought for you guys, number one. Any questions on my comments there?
Well, could we address that issue? Because I certainly would entertain a motion for Jody to send an email to the administrator's office to make sure that that does happen. Mm-hmm. So if anyone would like to make a motion, and if there's a second to discuss that, I would appreciate that.
Sure. I can make a motion that Jody sends an email to the administrator's office that any housing related items makes it to the housing authority.
Is there a second?
Yeah, Natalie second, but she's muted.
Oh, I see that. Okay. Can you unmute Natalie? I'd like to hear you say second.
She's probably eating, right?
No, she's not. She's having trouble, though, unmuting. I know that she said her name before, so.
Oh, she muted herself right away.
She did.
I have a comment about that, Chaz. Can I interject while we're waiting for Natalie to return?
It's the chair that you'd have.
Oh, I'm
to
sorry,
ask.
Lori.
Yes, you may, Joan.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind. By the way, I'm still going to be calling you, even though you may not be on the board or anything. So
That's okay.
you can count on it. So, Chaz, you said that you're not getting the correct subsidized housing inventory and everything. That would include housing that is to be put on the affordable housing list.
Everything.
So, for instance, like it's my understanding that there was one house completed thus far under the FY18 CDBG grant that's completed. That should be on your list. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
Anything that has received grant funds for rehab, any form of rehab, those assisted homes count in our affordable inventory because that grant stays live for 15 years unless the property's sold.
Right. So there's at least one house I know of that's not on your list.
Right. Well, we have had some there to Lori and my knowledge. Wasn't there one, Lori, that was sold at market value that we were supposed to get some funds back at that we have to really turn over? Those funds should have been turned over to the Affordable Housing Trust.
On Coppersmith.
Correct.
Yeah. And that would have been up to the partner to do that. That was, and I'll just interject this one thing about the account that was opened at Workers Credit Union for the Housing Authority. That was done at the time Coppersmith started taking applications for their first affordable home. And what Michelle Cannon had told the board at that time when I was on was that we're going to open this so that each time one closes, we get a piece of it, and that will go into the housing authority, which is what it was supposed to be. Mm-hmm. Just like, I'm going to say it again, that $10,000 that was given as seed money for affordable housing back when Townsend Woods opened. But it went into the general fund instead. That was supposed to be money for affordable housing. So, just trying to undo some of the practices that were not. Now, of course, that's something that happened 10 or so years ago. Mm-hmm. That's not something that happened in the last 5 years.
Right.
Okay. But it's just that we got nowhere trying to locate the funds.
Right.
So.
The major concern is the information flow for me right now, and the if we could act on the motion that's on the floor. I'm not sure if we got it seconded or not.
Is Natalie back on?
Yeah, she is.
I second.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion on the motion for Jody to send a memo up to the administrator's office asking that all housing related information be sent to the Housing Authority? No more discussion. The only other thing I would say is that that information is what is used in the annual report. It's also the information that's used when we're doing our housing production plan.
Correct.
Did you say annual report? What annual report?
Well, each board, even like next year, the trust fund may be doing a report to put in the annual report for the town. Okay, so each committee, board, elected board or appointed board gets to submit their report for the prior year to report back to the town. That gets submitted to the administrator's office.
Has the Housing Authority submitted their report from the...
We have 2 reports tonight from Chaz for 19 and 20. And then they'll be screen shared.
Yeah, 19 was not completed by anybody in town. It normally happens February, March, and because of COVID, it was tabled. So this year they're doing a combination of 2019 and 2020. And as Lori said, we're going to be going over both of those reports. Joan, if you just want to hang tight, you can see what we're going to be submitting for those reports.
And we have to remember, COVID lockdown wasn't until mid-March.
Yeah. So
that's by that time, the book is usually done as far as submissions and, everything else. But anyway, all those in favor of that motion, I'd like a voice roll call, please.
Hi, Natalie Call.
Hi, Courtney Borelli.
I, Chad Sexton Duranian.
And I, Laura Schifrin, vote aye.
Okay.
Vote aye. Okay.
AYE,
Chad.
not I.
Yes. Thank you, Chaz. Your
to
next
clarify,
item
I have one more item that, Madam
under
Chair.
your report.
Yes.
Thank Jody as
Under the as part of this reporting, I then looked into what I need to do or what we need to do to make sure that our subsidized housing inventory is correct. When I had also contacted Joan in regards to a couple of other issues in regards to the CBDG grant, it came to my attention that there were funds allocated to the town in 2018 that were partly for housing and partly for fuel assistance. There's 25,000 and change, but we'll say $26,000 allocated to the town on this grant, the CBDG grant, to assist townspeople with fuel assistance. This money has never been spent, and there's nothing that has never been done anything with it. And when I contacted Joan about it, and she and I have been gathering information in regards to it, there is still outstanding $26,000 for fuel assistance that we can provide for the town. What we're determining now is when and if an extension was filed either by the board or somebody to extend this grant until April or not. What I would like to ask the board is if they could please vote to have myself look into it, and I would also like to bring this to the Board of Selectmen for the Housing Authority in regards to information for the subsidized housing inventory and a little investigation in regards to the fuel assistance.
Chaz, if I may, the grant itself, the extension has been approved. The grant ends the last day of June 2021, but the fuel assistance the fuel money has to be given out by April. I don't know if it's the beginning of April or the end of April, but that's the difference there.
Right. And what I'm asking the board is to give me permission to talk with the selectmen to be able to, since there is no grant manager that's assigned to this, and there really is no, there has been no management as far as that is concerned. I'd like to be able to ask the Board of Selectmen if the Housing Authority can take that on as far as marketing and trying to get the information out to the public so that we can get a fuel assistance for people in town who truly need it.
So just so I understand, Chaz, are you trying to get a motion so that you can discuss with them to try to get on their January 28th meeting?
Correct.
Okay. I will entertain a motion to that effect. Do I hear a motion?
I can make a motion that Chaz talks to the Board of Selectmen on the January 28th meeting about the fuel assistance program and the grant. The name of it now. and the grant to see if we can, as the Housing Authority, administer or manage that.
Okay. So you will be discussing administration as well, Chaz?
Yes.
So Jody, can you add that to the motion? Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, Natalie, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion?
I'd like to say thank you very much.
You're welcome, Joan. I'll take a roll call vote, please.
Courtney Brelli, aye.
Natalie Cole, aye.
As Sexton Durini and I.
Laura Schiffer and I. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mm-hmm. And
Okay,
Madam
so
Chair, that is done. Now I'm
Okay, so for your state report, all right.
Yeah.
We have at 2.1, we have no appointments this evening. So we're going to go into number 3, work session. 3.1, warrant article for 2021 ATM annual town meeting. It could be an ATM machine. Annual town meeting. Chaz.
Okay, now let's see if I can do this. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. For what Jody had originally sent out, as you had asked me, I had written the warrant article and sent it into town council. Town council came back with his corrections to it, and that's what you see here. And I had sent it back out to Lori, the chair, and her and I talked about it, and we both agreed that we probably need to have some narrative being put on the warrant, that if somebody's going to be asking us why we are asking to get the funds reallocated. So basically what I've done here is I've done a brief explanation, but you guys know me, there's nothing brief about me. I gave pretty much reasons why we are going to, why we're asking to reallocate the funds. And then a little background on exactly what we have been doing over the past year, or actually 2 years now, since we received these funds. The main thing is that the Housing Authority is recommending that the reallocation of funds for a consultant to assist with preparing a 2020 housing production plan is now the most feasible avenue to take at this juncture, given the current circumstances. I guess the main crux of it is we just need to vote on the warrant article, and then I have no problem presenting it in town meeting, however that forum takes.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion, and I will say, Chaz, yes, the narrative is very important to have. You could say all this in a bullet form, but at least you have the information that if somebody asks a question, you know, it's good to be prepared with the history as well as the reasoning for the article. So I thank you very much for doing that. I'll entertain a motion to have this article, which has been approved by town council, to go forward for the annual town meeting in 2021. Do I hear a motion?
I can make a motion to take the warrant article for the 2021 town meeting as we see in front of us, to accept this and for Chaz to bring it forward.
I second the motion.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion on the motion regarding the article? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote, please.
Courtney Rowley, aye.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chad Sexton Durrani and I.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you very much. That was great work. I really appreciate the narrative, Chaz. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, next. 3.2, 2019 annual report. I believe we have all seen the 2019 and 2020, correct? I thought I read something.
Yes.
Okay. So at 3.2, 2019 annual report, do I hear a motion to accept what we've received and to have that presented for the annual report?
So we just need a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion. I can't make a motion, but I mean, I've reviewed both reports. You know that because I gave whatever feedback I had.
Joan, and I'll forward these over to you afterwards, okay?
Chaz, you referenced earlier that we had possibly a section added or some type of revision to emphasize. I think I finally found it here. I just wanted to make sure we had the section on that we were just talking about communication between any affordable or any housing stuff coming to Housing Authority. But I think I finally just found it in here.
I know it was in one of them. Do you have that in both of them?
No, I just found it in 2020, so I just wanted to.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I think it impacted us more in 2020, you know,
It did.
Yeah.
so I'll entertain a motion to accept the 2019 annual report for the Townsend Housing Authority.
I can make a motion to accept the annual report for the Townsend Housing Authority for 2019.
I second the motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. I'll take a roll call vote, please.
Courtney Brelli, aye.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chad Sexton Duranian, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 3.3 2020 annual report.
Now on the 2020 report, the chair had asked me to try to condense this to get it on 2 pages, which the draft of the draft I did here. I had taken out the very first sentence on the last paragraph, which makes everything fit on 2 pages.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sure.
I will entertain a motion.
I can make a motion to accept the Townsend Housing Authority 2020 annual report.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Courtney Brelli, aye.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chad Sexton Duranian, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you very much again.
Jody, if you could, on the 2020 version, the very last paragraph starts out with "there has also been a continued focus." If you take that out, that sentence out, everything should fit on 2 pages. And then those are good to submit to,
Administrator's office.
yeah.
Thank you.
If you can take the
3.4.
draft off of that too, Jody. Yep.
Can I see the header again, please? Would you share that, Chaz?
The header.
Yeah, that's it. Very good, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good, thanks. 3.4, worthy fund discussion. All right, Chaz, are you going to lead that or Joan?
I think I have more information on that. I'm not really. And this is something that is going to be joint boards working on. I'll give the Housing Authority a little background on it. There have been benefactors from the town that have willed or deeded certain parcels of either land or monies for certain purposes. There is a fund that's set up in town that's called the Worthy Fund, and that anybody who has willed money to the town for the needy, or if some townsperson needs funds for any particular reason, that's what this fund is established for. When Joan and I were getting everything set up for the Affordable Housing Trust, we had been contacted by selectmen that there have been some people writing into the town to try to access the Worthy funds, and both Joan and I had realized that some of these can be used for the COVID money that we have been allocated for, as opposed to taking it out of the Worthy Fund. So I can't remember if Joan talked to one of the selectmen or I talked to one of the selectmen, but we had a discussion in regards to we needed to have a more defined process so that when a request comes in, that it goes to the right party, as opposed to being bounced around from department to department, which goes back to my earlier comment. So, Joan, did we get a farm? I saw an email today. Are we going to be meeting on the 28th?
Yeah, this is going to be discussed on the 28th. And a point about the Worthy Fund, I think what recently happened, because there were people applying for the CMHA COVID-19 rental mortgage, or they didn't realize it at the time. They thought they could go to Worthy Fund, and we have to have people go to the appropriate place. I think along the way it was discovered that there's really no protocol, and I believe the idea is to get some kind of protocol set up, so if this happens, you go step A, B, C, etc. And so there's a protocol, which there is not now.
Right. So that's kind of where the discussion is in regards to the Worthy Fund. If somebody is in need from the town and it does have to go in that particular, usually the turnaround time isn't that long. If it's a Worthy Fund and it is deemed a Worthy Fund issue, because that process that they have already established, there is a board, I think, of 3 people, Joan, if I remember correctly, that it just goes in and they're able to get the funds out. The other part, which I want Joan to kind of talk a little more about for us so that we're aware, so if we are being questioned by anybody, that we all have the same answer. The process itself is a little more lengthy as far as the COVID funds are concerned. However, funds that are going out for COVID funds go directly to the landlord. It does not go to the individual. It goes directly to the landlord. The processing time does take a little bit, but the landlord will be notified if the application has been accepted and the funds have been approved but not really sent out yet. The landlord will know well before the long period of time before it processes. Am I correct in assuming that, Joan?
Yes, the landlord or the mortgage holder, if it's a renter situation or a homeowner. Yeah, so once the person's app has been approved, the funds have been earmarked, the CMHA will reach out and say, hey, it's coming to the landlord or the mortgage holder.
Right. So that particular process happens rather quickly. The funds actually getting to that individual will take a little bit of time, but at least they have a guarantee that they are going to be getting that fund, and it is from the partner agency that's going to notify them.
Right.
Anybody have any questions in regards to that? Does anybody have any issues with me going into the meeting and talking, since I kind of got my feet wet in this? And, it's like one of those things where I tipped my toe into the fountain and ended up falling in.
I think that it's a joint meeting that's been posted.
Yep.
So we can all be there, and anyone can talk about it if they want to, but certainly you could take the lead on it. That's fine.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned. And I think everybody else feels the same way.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. So that's the Worthy Fund. Next one is 3.5 tenant vacancy. Jody, I'm going to just ask if anything has come in for a volunteer form. No. So maybe in the spring when it's warmer, somebody will want to do something, but right now that is vacant. And it has to be a tenant in an affordable housing complex, maybe like in renting in a place that counts towards our affordable housing counts. And at this point, it's really just Townsend Woods, Atwood Acres, and Turnpike Village. because it wouldn't be home ownership. And I don't know if we have any other like in-laws that count for affordable in town.
We don't have anything on the list yet.
So here we go.
Yeah, that's going to be the next, our part of our duties going forward.
Yeah. So if anybody's watching who's interested in housing in Townsend and helping out, there is that seat available for specifically that. So if you're living at Townsend Woods, Turnpike Village, or Atwood Acres, you can fill out a volunteer form, which is on the website, Townsend website, and submit it. 3.6 correspondence, clerk's announcements. Do we have anything, Jody? I know I'm not sure that you sent it. If there was anything, did you send it to Natalie?
There really wasn't anything other than the referral notice that I sent out
For the cell tower?
for 60 Warren Road.
That's a mandatory
Does anyone-
referral.
Yeah, okay. I realize that they're doing it, but I don't think that the housing authority, although I'll throw it out to the board members, I don't think it has an impact on what we're doing, what our responsibilities are. Does somebody see that differently? Okay, so Jody, could you just answer that it's not within our realm to give an opinion in reference to this? I mean, neither way. I mean, like the assessors did, okay, because there's a tax impact. But, I'm not sure. What did planning do?
The planning deferred to the police and fire because the police and fire wanted to be able to utilize a portion of the tower for 911 services, which they were granted on that.
Okay, yeah. So I pretty much think that, it is out of our realm, but just answer it so that they'll know that we addressed it.
Correct, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that was it?
Yep.
So then can you screen share the minutes? I didn't print them. I know I reviewed them. And it's 3.7 would be the approval of our minutes, past minutes.
I'm going to have to get the documents up. Can you give me 2 seconds?
Yeah.
While you're doing that, Chaz, you had sent me some meeting minutes that were missing from the website. I think I have everything. We're up to date for 2020, but for 2019, for the next meeting, I'm going to send you guys the 3 that were missing just to reread and approve. They may have gotten approved. I don't know, but some of them say draft. So for the next meeting, I'm going to give you another packet of meeting minutes to review. And then we are still missing February 26th, 2019 and July 25. If anybody has them, that's great. If not, I could probably go back and just watch the YouTubes. It's just going to take me a minute.
In 2020?
2019. Before my time.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'll have to look in my stuff.
I'll look as well if I have anything, but I don't know.
That's okay. Like I said, I can, it's just 2 at this point, so I can probably get them to you.
Okay. Thank you. And so Jody, would you reflect in the minutes that was discussed and that's what you're going to do?
Did everybody get the minutes that I'm looking for here?
Under the, well, I think it was right in that email. The only thing is I can't get to the email now. I printed off the agenda, but that was it.
Yeah, it's in an email.
The one that had the meeting notice, that had the agenda and the meeting notice, the minutes were there.
That I have October 22nd, 2020.
It's September 1, which was a joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen. 10/22, and our last meeting 12/10, which was a joint with the trust fund.
And you sent those out in one email?
In one email, yeah.
Wasn't it the one with the agenda?
I
Jody?
had it.
I don't know.
I thought it was.
Let me see. So I can go back and look.
Meeting notice for January 21st.
I'm not seeing it. Because I have it has the agenda, it has the cell tower, it has the annual town meeting, it has 60
Oh.
Warren Road application,
Yeah.
and then the 2019-2020 annual reports. I don't see any minutes to that.
Jody, it looks like maybe it only went to myself and Lori, but I could be wrong. If anyone-
No.
It went out Tuesday, and I have Chaz, Courtney, and Natalie. I can resend it. Make sure I have the right emails. What the heck happened?
Why do I think I saw it?
It did go out. Well, at least it looked like it did.
And it was on Tuesday.
Yep.
Got it. Got
Okay.
it. Got it. All right. So let me click on that. So 10/22, 12/10, and September 1st.
Correct.
Okay.
And if it pleases the board, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of what, 2019?
No.
Oh, okay.
Chaz, can you share it? If you have it, can you share it?
I'm waiting. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll wait too.
Oh, while we're waiting, Joan, I will send you the December 10th meeting because that was a joint meeting.
Thank
For you
you.
guys to approve.
Thank you.
This is 10/22. As you can see, I have too many windows open. Does somebody want to make a motion
that
on
was
that
the
one?
one with, yeah. JK was there, yeah. Okay, so 10/22 was just our meeting or the joint with the selectmen?
September 1 was the joint with the select.
Okay.
10/22, I think, was just you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. JK was there.
Yeah, that was the meeting where he and the accountant were supposed to attend.
Oh, and she couldn't make it.
Correct. It was to discuss, I think, the trust fund, setting it up.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the Thursday, October 22nd, 2020 minutes.
I make a motion to accept the October 22nd, 2020 meeting minutes.
Second? Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. Roll call vote.
Courtney Briley, aye.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chaz Sexton Durrani and I.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Okay. The next set.
Is, I think this one is September 1st.
God.
This was the joint meeting with the Board of Selectmen, and we were discussing the COVID-19 rental and mortgage assistance. And that's pretty much all it is right there.
Short and sweet. Any way
Yeah.
to move that up one so the signature is
Yeah. I can
just
do
on
that.
one sheet?
Yep.
So you don't have to go to a second sheet. I'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes of September 1st,
I make a
2020.
motion to accept the meeting minutes from September 1st, 2020.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll take a roll call vote.
Courtney Briley, aye.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chaz Sexton Durrani and I.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Okay, we've got one more. December 10th, which was a joint meeting with the trust fund.
I make a motion to accept the Thursday, December 10th, 2020 meeting minutes.
I second the motion.
Whoops, I have the wrong one. Sorry. Didn't I have it up there? Why did it pop out?
You did, because I saw joint.
Yeah.
12:10, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Let me just ask a question, verification. I think this is the correct name, but I thought that authority wasn't in the trust fund.
No.
No, it is in the trust fund. It is?
No.
It's the Townsend Affordable Housing Trust Fund.
Right. And I thought it was the Townsend Housing Authority Trust Fund, but it's not. So Jody, can you just make that correction so that the name is what it is legally?
Thanks, Jody. It's taken a while to figure that one out.
I'm sure I autopilot a lot. Just keep doing authority.
Right. Well, the trust agreement is the full name of it has the full name of the trust on there.
Yeah. So if you want to verify.
Yeah.
So with that correction, I'll entertain a motion to approve the December 10th, 2020 joint meeting.
I make a motion to approve the Thursday, December 10th, 2020 meeting minutes.
I second the motion.
Any further discussion? I'll take a roll call vote.
Courtney Briley, aye.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chaz Sexton Durrani and I.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you. And Jody will add the note of what we're to expect for the next meeting of the previous minutes that need to be approved.
Right. So Jody, verify. I just need to verify February 26th, 2019 and July 25th, 2019.
February 26th, yep, and July 25.
Okay, I'll look for you.
Okay. And like I said, I will be sending out May 16th. These are all 2019. March 1, March 13th, and May 16 of 2019 next meeting, just to the best of your recollection.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we adjourn, when do you think we need another meeting?
I would like to be able to bring Sheila in. Sheila said that she would be available if she had some more advance notice. So I'd like to get her in to talk about Dudley Road again.
Do we have any idea when the annual meeting is going to be? Jody, any rumblings?
I haven't heard.
Okay.
I've heard May. It's the charter says it's got to be May something.
Well, I don't think that matters because it was what, in July or August, the summer?
Yeah,
July, yeah.
I think the board's pushing for May.
The budget needs to be worked on as well. And Madam Chair, I don't know if we need to see if just make sure that Jody gets that in on whatever deadline it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you think we need to meet in February? We've got the election this Saturday. Want to make sure everybody gets out and votes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave it to the pleasure of the board.
I think we should schedule something, and then if we decide to cancel it, we can cancel it. That's just my thought. I do want to say that with my new position, Thursday is going to be a very difficult day for me because I will be working late on Thursday. So I'd like to reschedule it or change our schedule to Wednesdays if we can do it.
I'm happy to schedule the 24th of February. I can't do the 10th, and the 17th I'm going to be with my daughter, so I don't want to.
So I'm okay for the 24th of February.
I can do that as well.
Me too.
Okay, so Wednesday the 24th will be our next meeting at 7 p.m. If you want to notify Sheila and let us know if she is going to attend, and we'll make sure she's on the notice on the agenda for the meeting.
Okay.
And by then we'll do all the remaining minutes that we are missing so that they get it on the website. And
I can give you a report in regards to the CBDG grant information in regards to fuel assistance.
okay.
And
So that's on the agenda.
yep. And the Worthy Fund, I can report on that as well.
Okay. And we won't know anything about the feasibility study until changing the feasibility study money until after the annual town meeting, right?
Correct. Another form of business for this year that we're going to need to forecast in is that we have been, but I think we really should put a warrant article in to transfer the current Dudley Road to transfer it to the trust.
Yep.
we need there, and that's part of the meeting that I was talking with state officials about, the state attorneys about, is that we should be able to do a charitable transfer to transfer. The question is, do we need to bring it up to in a town meeting or not? Since it's going from one charitable trust to another charitable trust that is being overseen by the town, by the board, and the board is represented on the Affordable Housing Trust. So they are doing the research for me to see if we can just go ahead and do that transfer, or ask Adam actually needs to do the transfer. He needs to file it, or do we need to bring it to town vote?
Okay, that's good. Jody, can you put that on the agenda as well? And this way you'll have about a month. See if you get any further information on that.
Do we need to also send out maybe an update to the 3 companies that we had take a look at the housing production plan proposals? Just give them a little heads up that we're still, postponed a bit.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah. Because we don't want them to think that we're not doing it or that we've forgotten them.
Exactly.
I think that's a really good idea.
Jody, I can maybe draft something for you that I can send to you and maybe you could distribute.
Sure.
Okay, that's wonderful. Thank you to both of you on that. So, okay, we have our next meeting date as the 24th of February at 7 p.m. And it's now 7:57, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, and I'll thank Hartley as always.
I make a motion to adjourn at 7:57.
I second that motion.
Thank you. I'll take a roll call vote.
Courtney Borelli, aye.
Natalie Call, aye.
Chaz Sexton, Durrani, and I.
And Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Jody, for everything.
Thank you, Jody. Thank you,
Jody.
Hartley.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Hartley.
Madam Chair.